Kalan, tell me what it means when someone says they want multiple streams of income. Tell the people. Why do the people need multiple streams of income?
COVID says it all. What's the difference between having an LLC for your business and being trademarked?
For me, I'm trying to get multiple streams of income because I'm trying to retire early. 62, can't do it.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode on the Stream Chaser Show. You got myself, Kalan.
And I'm Candace.
And we're glad that you're here joining us on another episode. We got something different for y'all, something we've never talked about, and that's typically how we go. I mean, you know, sometimes we might repeat a topic or kind of look at it from a different angle, but pretty much we're going to give y'all something different every single payday, and today's no different.
Variety.
But before we really get into the details of all that, you know, we always got to start off each episode tagging up with each other. But Candace, what's been going on with you?
I don't really know. I guess, you know, it's order fulfillment. I'm tired of saying wedding season is almost over because apparently it is not. It's like, that's where it's at. So I order fulfillment for my business, trying to prepare for a new business. Anthony is almost done with real estate classes. He takes his exam this week. So big fingers crossed for that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Early congratulations.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's a super good test taker too.
Oh, that's
like
good.
Yeah, that's one of his like strong points.
That's good.
So I'm excited for him on that. So praise God, that'll almost be done. And then hopefully, so I've been working on you know, expanding Pretty Prince was looking at potentially opening a bridal shop. So I've been trying to finish up my business plan because I don't know if y'all caught the IG live, but I told Gwen I was going to send it to her by the end of the year. Like that was so I've been putting in some work on that. And a big plug for that, for the software that she told us about, LivePlan. If you've never built a business plan, like if you need to build one, LivePlan really is like, first of all, they give you like a free 60-day trial. And I thought I could get it done in 60 days and like not have to pay. I've been paying, but it's worth it. Like I haven't canceled it because LivePlan really is like, it guides you in a way that is like unbelievable. Yeah, no, that's where I did mine at. Oh, really?
Yeah. So remember how I've been talking about how I had to submit my plan for the space and everything. Yeah. So yeah, that's exactly what I use. And I had used it before.
Okay.
For another concept or business idea. But yeah, no, I did the same thing. And it's when it came out, like my actual business plan was 38 pages. Okay. The way they break it up, you know, with all the forecasts and everything.
And that's not too bad because, I mean, it does include a lot of charts and graphs and stuff. Like you want to, you know, one thing that if you decide to do what Wynn said and you try to take their business plan class, I learned how to do business plans in college, right? In graduate school because I got an MBA. So that's one thing that they harped on. But like when you finish class, is an MBA, like in theory, your business plan be like 120 pages. It'd be thick. In the class that I took, because I was just interested in seeing what they were teaching the people, they were like, you know, in real life, unless you have like a multi-million-dollar business, there's no need for your business plan to be 120 pages. Like you need to pare that down to something people are going to read. And then all your forecasts, your financials kind of want to put some in the thing, but some as an addendum because you really want to keep them, you know, 20-ish pages because that's all people are really going to give you. And it was interesting because I had a hard time because I learned a different way, like learning to like pare it down. But anyway, so that's what I've been doing. What about you?
Well, y'all know the last few episodes I've been dealing with this whole situation trying to get a space.
On the hunt for the one.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. On the hunt for the one. I like that. So just still trucking along, waiting. You know, it's like the waiting game. Okay. And I'm sure a lot of people that are watching this, you may not have gone through the experience of trying to get a commercial space, but you've gone through the process of getting a residential space, whether it's a townhouse,
apartment,
anything. And you know, sometimes it can be time consuming, waiting on realtors, you know, and just feedback, all that type of stuff. But I will share one thing with everybody just to bring everybody in the loop up to speed because I've been keeping y'all up to date. So I might be getting rid of our tenant rep.
Oh no. You just got him though.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like, and we talked about this before when we had Mo in episodes, like the alpha personalities.
Oh yeah.
And like being controlling. And again, I'm not controlling, but like I did say, if I see something's not getting done or is starting to slack, I have no problem with stepping in.
Yeah.
And doing something, because my sense of urgency is different from your sense of urgency, clearly. Now, again, keeping this very short, the realtor, I submitted the plan, everything. He submitted that over to the property manager.
Okay.
They reviewed it and everything. Now, mind you, after we first saw the first space, he came to me and was like, yeah, what you think about the space? I'm like, it was good, whatever, right? And he said, yeah, I'm thinking this. Show me what he's thinking the proposal terms should be, like at this rate, you know, like about $5 cheaper than what the base was, you know, the whole nine. So I'm like, cool, let him know that, right? So he supposedly sent that to them. So then it was about a week of waiting, you know. So then Tuesday or late Monday night, I got an email from him with the landlord's proposal, like their official proposal. Basically, it's called a letter of intent. Okay. So that's what it's called. So they sent that over to me. So I'm reading it, and like I said, I didn't see it till like Tuesday morning. So it's about like 2:00 in the morning, waking up. You know, you check your emails in the middle of the night. 2:00 in the morning. so I'm looking. So I'm like half eyes. I'm like scrolling. I'm like, hold on. So I really saw it, got my attention. So I really sat up and started looking, because the first thing, the most important thing is the base rent. Exactly. So that was the first category I saw. And again, this is one of those properties that I found first. Okay. He didn't find it for me. Okay. But that's, again, like, I feel like I'm doing your job. Okay. Or whatever. So I was already familiar with the rates and everything, right? Okay. So I see it. I'm like, But I didn't think nothing of it. So just early this morning, I'm preparing my response. Okay. About all my questions and comments to this letter of intent. So me doing my job, or supposed to be his job, I do some research. I go on the LoopNet, the property that's on LoopNet, and then I go to their website. Okay. And then on the website, they give you a little bit more information in terms of like the fees and everything. Okay. So when I see it, I'm like, this definitely ain't making sense, because when he sent this thing back to me, the email, he basically said, how does this look? Do you want to move forward? It was like a question like that. Like, go ahead and sign, basically, right? Okay. So I'm like, okay. Not like, yeah, this is what I say we need to change. Yeah, it was none of that. Okay. It was, let me know your thoughts. If you're cool with it, I'll get this back over to them by Friday, which was yesterday. Of course, I was late, but I don't care. Like, I'm taking my time. Yeah, I'm going to change it anyway. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm looking. So again, this morning, I'm sitting there writing, or I'm getting ready to respond to the email. So I was like, this ain't adding up. So then I go back and, like I said, do the research on LoopNet, go to their website. The price that they were offering, or the price that they have listed for base rent, is cheaper than what they even put in the proposal. So I called it out in the email and said, well, one, what happened to the proposal that you suggested that we go forward with? And then secondly, I told him, and if there's no negotiation, I'm not moving forward. And then 3, there's an inconsistency. When we met with them, they said it was this rate. On their website and all their documentation, it says it's $1 cheaper per square foot. So I'm like, there's some inconsistency. So to me, that's red flags, because you as the realtor should be on that. Yeah. Like, I'm doing your job or whatever. So it already started, like I said, it been rubbed me the wrong way. But then going back to what Mo said and some of our other guests that have spaces, it's like, technically, the book way, you should get a realtor, but a lot of these people are doing it themselves. And now I see why. Because at the end of the day, these realtors, they get paid in the commercial side. So how they get paid from whatever you are paying monthly, right? Oh. From the landlord, though. Because the landlord sees that as, to the realtor, like, you brought me some business. Okay. So it's really And these are the evil thoughts that go in your mind. But it's like, y'all can be working together against me because y'all see me as a new buyer.
Right.
Granted, I don't think that's the case.
Right.
But at the same time, that landlord is trying to get as much money as they can.
Mm-hmm. As always.
And again, him knowing that we're novice to this,
right?
He probably like, oh yeah, they'll just sign. But it's like, nah, I'm not that type of person. Like I'm very business savvy. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to this stuff, like it might be my first time getting a space, mm-hmm. but you can't just play me.
Yeah.
When it comes to like this, and that might even be the case, mm-hmm. but again, he's not doing his due diligence,
right? Even if it's just laziness,
yeah,
you're not doing your due diligence.
Yeah, so that's what I've been dealing with. And I was talking to one of Mickey's clients earlier, who's a very loyal client, and we can't make things for concessions for every client, but he was like, don't go over there because that's too far for me anyway. So that's what it is.
I see. I'm not even mad at him. I mean, I'm gonna put it out there and see what y'all do with it. Just
yeah. So
I'm gonna be honest, your story makes me feel some type of way about the realtor and the landlord.
Yeah.
Because I understand everybody want to get the most that they can get. So if it were me and I were the landlord, I would offer you what's on the website straight up and see what you do about it, right? Because that's what's on the website. So I'm going to offer it to you straight up. Now, if you don't ask for nothing off of it, you ain't ask for nothing off of it. You know what I'm saying? Right. But at least I'm consistent. Like, I'm not about to try to play you and put some more dollars on top of something else.
Yeah, and then, like I said, even if it was a mistake, but it just shows, like, it goes back to what we talked about, like, back in episode 2 and 3, and like professionalism of your website, and everything needs to be intact and succinct. Yeah. Because, like, granted, it may have just been a minor edit, but it's like, don't send your property manager out to meet us saying one price, but all your websites and everything says something totally different.
Right.
It's inconsistency, and the average person won't catch it, but me at 7:30 this morning, I had time to sit there, and I was like, no, this ain't right. Yeah. And I called it out, so we'll see, but...
Well, we shall see.
Yeah, so I'm tracking everything, keeping everybody up to date.
Okay.
So well, that's what I've been up to.
It's the never-ending saga, but hopefully it has an
every
end,
week
though.
is something different.
I know.
It's like the highs and the lows.
Exactly.
That's literally what it is. Mm-hmm. But it's a journey. Yeah. It's a journey. But enough about me, Stream Chasers. So again, we got something different for y'all today. As again, like I said, we like to give y'all different topics that you all can learn from, benefit from, and open your eyes to, because it might be something that you might want to get into to be able to add an additional income stream. Mm-hmm. So today on hand, we have a business owner, nonprofit owner, somebody who does a lot of work in the community. We'll get into a lot of that, especially for the city of DC. Like I said, he just looks out for the community overall. His name is Marcus Ellis, and again, with all the work that he's doing in the community, he also has a very different business where it comes to boats. So he actually owns a boat, and he has his own boat rental company, where you'll probably see him docked on, some waters out there near Georgetown, the harbor, who knows? But like I said, he has his own captain, and they do the thing, and that's a big thing in our area, because oftentimes, especially when the sea is in season, you see a lot of these people that host birthdays, celebrations, anything, like a small group of people. Yeah, it's a nice vibe. So we're gonna get into that, about like acquiring the boat. What was it like? How do you market it? The off season, something that Candace and I talked off screen. So we're gonna get into all of that. But without further ado, we got Marcus Ellis. We're glad to have you to the show.
I appreciate being here. Thank y'all for having me. I'm glad we can make the time.
Yeah, yes. I'm glad you're able to come through. I know you're a busy guy. Got a lot. Like I said, I know you got a lot of stuff going on in the community. And later on, we'll get into that event that you have coming up. But before we get into like the business and everything, just set the stage for the the listeners. Let everybody know a little bit about your background and how you even decided to like get into business for yourself.
I appreciate it. It's funny, as I'm sitting here thinking as you all were talking, I feel like I got a Instagram page for every title I hold. Like, we probably didn't used to say that, right? Like, everything I do, I'm like, well, I got a page for that. There's a page for that. So, and you kind of started it all first and foremost for the last, I'm about to date myself, 20 or so years. I've been working within district government. And with that, I've had the opportunity to serve in a few impactful positions. None more impactful than right now serving as the Chief of Staff for the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement. This office really focuses on stopping violent crime in the District of Columbia through a non-law enforcement effort. So it's about looking at the folks in our city who are most likely to have a gun in their hand, most likely to use it or to be the victim of being shot, and really digging in and looking at this from a health-based approach, right? Like, what made you need to pick that gun up versus the penalty for you having the gun, right? And so we look at those underlying factors of violence and we try to address those across the city. And that's the core of what I'm doing right now. But outside of that, you mentioned it. I started a nonprofit organization a few years back that we'll talk about a little bit later. But when you talk about the boating industry, I think that a lot of people, and especially, my circle of folks, we like to do impactful work. And a lot of time that's led by your heart and your passion, and all those things are beautiful, right? But yeah, we need that bread, just like everybody else.
Don't always pay.
And that's a key for me. What you just mentioned is that even passion should have a dollar amount tied to it. I can remember, I got a couple of friends and we started speaking to each other about the amount of time we go and speak at a homeless shelter or Boys and Girls Club. And it's, call Marcus, he'll do it. I'm like, yeah, I will. But you know what? I had to get dressed this morning, leave my family, spend time away from them, prepare these notes, interact with folks afterward. There needs to be a cost associated with this. You can't just keep pulling my heartstrings, right? So even with that, I'm looking at the Stream Chasers format. Not that was about chasing streams specifically, but we had to start equating dollar amounts to that time. My pastor Keith Battle hits on that all the time. Like, yep, I'm your pastor, I love you to death, but you're not about to keep calling me for everything out the goodness of my Christian heart. We gonna put it, look, here's the price that costs. And it really opened me up to being more conscious about making sure that our time is properly paid for. But yeah, the boating thing, that's kind of what it derived for, and I can, of course, go into that a little bit deeper.
Well, so let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Well,
so when you talk about boats, so first it's a lot of type of boats. So let's like educate the people and myself. So it's like, you got like
speedboats,
fishing boats. Yeah, fishing boats. Then you got your sailboat looking things, that situation.
Because I'm trying to be on a Diddy yacht, okay?
Yeah, then you got yachts and everything. So first, tell us like the type of boat that you have or the type of family that lives in, and then we'll take it from there.
And I love that you said yacht. It just sounds more sexy. Something about it. You're going out on a boat.
Yes, I'm on a yacht.
Something sounds different. But here's where this is the dope part about that. After 34 feet, lengthwise, your boat is considered a yacht.
Oh, look at that.
Reality is that's not a super big boat. Mine's have to just be 36 feet. Guess what? It's a yacht.
It's a yacht.
We made that.
Come on out here on this yacht.
Let me fix that. He's in the yacht business.
Okay.
I need to change the title.
Yeah, go ahead.
EXILE charter boating, but
no, EXILE yachting. Come on.
I'm gonna take that.
Take a note. Exactly.
But so to take you back just a little bit, probably about 12 years ago, I met, through government, I met a guy by the name of Captain Steve Baines. And at the time, he was the superintendent at New Beginnings, which is DC's long-term juvenile detention center. And from another government agency, I came over to support him. The mayor at the time thought that would be a good fit. He had a certain skill set. I had another. They worked so I became his deputy superintendent, and we were working hand to hand in some really impactful work. And in that type of work, and even the work we do today, you need a break. You gotta go somewhere and recharge. And he's a 25-year vet of the Coast Guard, and he was a black captain in the Coast Guard, which is saying a lot. It's just saying a lot of us that make it to that level. in the Coast Guard. And so he tells me, look, I got a boat. Seem like a cool dude that we can actually probably engage outside of work. He says, come down, meet me in D.C. Let's go out, have some whiskey or whatever. I like whiskey. Yeah. I like boats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This wasn't hard.
Turn that down.
Sounds good.
This sounds like a good look.
Yeah.
So I meet him down there, and at the time, we did not have a yacht. He had like a 26-foot boat, something small. But at the time, look, I'm from Southeast D.C. Yeah. A boat's a boat. I feel like I'm on a yacht.
Yeah.
So we go out there, and I'm just like, damn, this is dope. We go up to Potomac. We go toward, we ain't even take the Georgetown route. He took me out like toward VA, Solomon's Island.
Oh,
and all
yeah.
this.
Oh.
And for this second, I enjoyed traveling. For this second, I didn't feel like I was in a DMV. Just looking at, I'm like, you can't really have a better peaceful escape than this. Then coming home, like when you hitting that water at night, and it's kind of like you're carving the water. It's like butter, like literally. I'm like
peace.
Damn, I'm digging this a lot. Well, 45 years old now. At the time when we met, obviously I'm younger, but I've always been a fan of having mentors. And now, I don't think you outgrow that. So he really became a mentor to me. And we became really good friends. And so over the years, we just going out there and we having a ball. We ain't thinking about nothing but fun.
Yeah.
COVID came around, so I'm fast forwarding this because we done had all our fun. We not even working together no more. We just tight, different spaces in our professional careers. And I'm like, dang, we done had fun for a long time. How can we profit off this? We gotta figure it out. So a year before COVID, we start talking about getting a larger boat, seeing what this charter thing can look like. Cap. I call him Cap. His name's Steve Baines. Is already a captain, so he has the licenses and all this. I'm like, well, I know what I know how to do. I can get people to come on here. Right? Like, I know some folk, and I think that I can help you with that side of it. And so we about to rock and roll. We looking at boats. We gonna go in on this boat together, and COVID comes through, and it's like, damn. We not allowed to go outside, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, something happened with our business plan. And we had sat down and we talked about, me getting my boat safety license so that I could be his co-captain. And, I'm putting together kind of that business strategy in terms of target audience and how we going to promote it, what we'll need, and how do we make this a different experience, talking about customer service and all those little added factors. Because to be 100, at that point, it just wasn't a lot of black people doing it. But COVID comes through, like everything, as we all know, shuts down. I think the only thing I could do at that time was get a stretch session with a mask on. Like, that was the only thing you might know something about what and so I was like, damn, I want to go outside. This sucks. Cap, said, come down to the boat. He's masked up. I'm masked up. At that time, we're taking a chance. He's supposed to be outside. And so I said, bro, you know what? We 6, 7, 8 months into COVID. I was like, I think we can do this. And he was like, do what? I was like, we should try it. This would be the time to kick this business off. People are dying to get out the house. He was like, I don't know, Marcus. This COVID thing's serious, man. I was like, I know. We gonna let me look at some health regulations, see what we can put into place. Mask on. We outside. They say outside is this and that. Looking at Dr. Fauci, like, I mean, sound like he's saying we can do it. You know what I mean? So July 1, we talked for about a month, and he was down. I said, man, let's do it. We got the business plan. We put everything in place. I opened a social media account, as I mentioned, EXILE Charter Boating, the week prior to July 1. And we decided to open up 4th of July weekend super aggressively. We had like 2 charters a day, 4th of July weekend. And this was the part, at the time, we were using this boating app. And the boating app was killing us, taking this huge percentage out of it. So we out there.
I'm sorry, real quick, when you say boating app, what's that?
So it's this thing is called boat setters. Basically, you give them the information on your boat. They make your bookings for you.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And so I made about 50% of our reservations that weekend through IG. We didn't know my IG was going to pop like that. Like, people was like, outside is kind of open again. And so I had a backlog of bookings, but we had already used this app for a couple of them. The app was hitting our head, like 30% of our profit was going. And I'm like, it was our last weekend using the app because before 4th of July weekend ended, I was booked for all of July and all of August, just like that. Oh, yeah. And I was like, damn, we got something here. And from there, we rocked and rolled with it. We put in our mask rules, temperature checks, all these types of things, and we moved forward. And at that point, there was no shot. You couldn't.
Yeah.
So it was risky. We made it out well that summer and came out healthy. I'm happy to say.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how we got into it.
Gotcha. So you say the Cap had the boat first, right? Which was you said it was like 20 something foot?
Yeah, the baby boat.
Okay, so the baby boat, we'll call it the baby boat.
Yeah.
So he had that first, and then just on the whim, he said, come on, chill with me on a Sunday or something like that, Marcus, so we can just go hang, talk, or whatever. And then from there, that's when you all was like, well, you got the boat, or I'm asking, is this how it went? Like, he had the boat, and then you had the social presence, and was like, man, let's put something together. And that's how y'all first started, or had the first boat, and then came COVID, and that's when y'all was like, let's put our heads together and let's go get the yacht now.
Exactly.
Okay.
And even just looking at it, Cat probably gonna see, there's no disrespect to the baby boat, but it was little. And it wasn't something that, quite honestly, I wanted to promote. I didn't think it was attractive enough to really get the clientele, to get the, at the time when we started out at $200 an hour. I'm like, would I pay $200 an hour to go on this if I could go on that? And I was like, I probably wouldn't. And so, the concept came with the smaller boat. The business kicked off, and the larger boat was already purchased.
Gotcha.
So now we got the yacht look. You go downstairs, it's the leather seats and it's the flat screen TV. I'm like, oh yeah, I post this.
Yeah.
Some people going, this looks good for a birthday party.
Oh yeah, real good.
So let me ask a question about boat prices, because I would say that most folks probably don't know how much boats cost, right? I know a little bit because my husband he has many hobbies. Okay. And one of his newest things is he wants a boat. So we have looked at boats, but tell the folks, how much does something like a 36-foot yacht, because that's what it is, how much does something like a 36-foot yacht cost? And like, what does it look like to pay for? Is that something you pay for straight out? Do you finance it? Like, how does that work?
So, and I'm gonna give you the answer kind of in two ways. I'm gonna give you when we were purchasing, and then I'm gonna give you right now. Right?
Okay.
And so 36-foot yacht, year 2002. Okay. Important to touch on that. Boats age really well.
Okay. So
you want it to have some mileage on it, right? Okay. There's nothing to buy a boat from 98 to 2000 now. Okay. You're gonna get a really good boat when you look at that. So at that time, the boat was 42,000. Okay. 42,000. Financing for boats, it's a really good deal. Like when we finance that 42,000, like they give you a payment rate of something like $220 a month. Like they give you and they stretch your loan out, depending it's like 10
years or something like that.
Yeah, depending on your status, you get that.
So it's not like So I've already learned something. Yeah. Because I'm thinking boat. I'm just thinking
like a car,
$250,000.
Oh yeah,
easy.
Yeah. And so and be clear, I'm talking about a 2000. Yeah. Now when we out there,
you can see
the 2018s and the 2020 boat near the size of ours. Amenities, of course, a lot different. The price jumps like it's a crazy jump for a newer boat. Like now you are getting there. You getting at 150, 250. Okay. I done seen some ones out there that are really hitting your head, and I think even for us as the business grows, that's something you start to explore. Yeah. But so that's the price. Now here's that part. And look, could I sit here and say, damn, we started that boating company in COVID, and then the next summer I felt like every black person I knew was getting a boat?
Are you serious?
Definitely could say that.
Wow.
But what happened was the industry grows up when people start buying them. They got it. Oh, boating is a safe thing to do during COVID. And so everybody started getting a boat. I'm like, damn. And it impacted business the next year, to be quite honest with you. But the price has skyrocketed. That same boat that we got for that 42, we looking now, it's 72. Like straight up. Because we immediately said we got to get another boat.
Yeah.
And as we looked for a similar style, that price went up like 30 G's easily. So that's why I wanted to two-part that.
Yeah.
So in 2019, 2020, a boat at that year, size 42, now you looking at like 70. The game changed a lot. A lot.
Fat Joe said the price yesterday is not the price today. Okay.
Yeah.
No bull.
But that's also a good thing. So, because a lot of people are always concerned, me being one in the past, like when you see businesses all of a sudden, you start your business, then you start seeing all these other businesses, like you said, and I think you mentioned it before, like you see your one white car, and then all of a sudden you see them all on the road.
It's like 200 white cars out here, and I know what happened.
But it always seems like that. But some advice I heard was like, but it should be looked at as a great thing for your business, because now all these businesses are popping up. That just drives the demand higher for your industry or for your service.
Exactly.
And everybody can't just go to that, option C.
Yeah. Right.
Because they may be booked. So it's like, it just makes it easier also.
No, very true.
Creates a bigger pool.
Yeah.
If you will.
It helped us in the sense that we got out there that year before.
You got reviews.
We got reviews. And like the customer service part, like that was my lane. Cat driving, he doing this thing. But for me, I'm meeting you at the top of the dock. I'm grabbing them bags. I'm doing all these things. And I'm be fully transparent. In my day-to-day role, I ain't that person in the organization. You gotta humble yourself. You gotta get this bread. Like, that's the main thing I talk about is like you're grabbing the bags, the customer service. People see, this boating industry and they're like, damn, Marcus found something dope. He having a ball. Slim, it still work. Like anything that looks like a ball, to the consumer, they're not sometimes taking in what it goes. I clean them bathrooms at the end. Ain't nobody work here. You know what I mean? We work here. Cap takes the top of the boat. I take the bottom. The bottom happens to be where the bathroom's at. And this is after a 4-hour cruise of fun. So the bathrooms don't look.
Look how it started.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And then for the most part, we got some dope customers. But don't act like, one, you're not drinking. They see the pictures and no, I'm not having a ball. I'm actually sober on this boat. And they're turned all the way up. Can anybody relate to this?
Yes, me.
The most irritating thing in the world is when you're around people that's drinking and you're not.
Come on.
And if you're a drinker, they're only doing everything you normally do. But right now, you are the most irritating person. Damn, don't chill. But
the most.
And I'm like, dang, okay, so you want to get up there again and dance. So here we go with this. You know what I mean? Like, you the same song you're going to play again. But they
have a good time.
And now you gotta
have a good time for the
you gotta keep the smile on your face.
And you gotta be having a ball too, even though, because I don't want to come on the boat with the crew that's stiff and no, I want to be like, hey, Marcus and I was dope. He let me drive the boat for a second, like all of those things. Carried over to the next year, and so it helped. But that was a huge part of it. Ain't nothing like when they letting you know.
Listen, been there. I spent one New Year's Eve pregnant. Trash. Let me just say that. Just trash.
Just
but
sitting
anyway,
down in the little corner.
I mean, and we had a party at my house, and I was just like, I'm going to bed because this is too much. It's just it's a lot.
The little games ain't the same.
It's not sober. When you sober. Okay,
y'all are so irresponsible.
I mean, it's so much. It's so much.
So really have I ever? Like, y'all think that's funny? Like, that's not funny.
And it's so, because I know me when I'm turned. I'm a situation.
So at least you have that, you carry it in your pocket. You're just like, I'm just going to take one for the team. So I find what you do interesting. What's so funny about it is I know exactly what you're talking about. So right in the middle of COVID, right around July, and I don't know if so first of all, let me say this. the boating and chartering of boats, right, is something that's been happening in southern states where it's warm for a long time, right? So people go to Miami or South Carolina, wherever, Myrtle Beach, and they can charter the boats, and it's like one of the first activities that pop up in your mind because it's always warm. I don't think here in the DMV, I know it's not always warm. It is cold right now, and so I don't think it was a thought for a lot of people to do the charter boats. And what's funny is, the first year of COVID, so 2020, right? My husband's birthday is in September. And so I was thinking about, like, what are we going to do? We've been in the house. What's safe? Oh, outside is safe. And I'm on Instagram, and it was like Instagram read my mind, and boats started popping up and people on boats in the DMV. And I was like, we do that here? And so all of a sudden I started looking into the chartering of boats. But a lot of people, there were not that many at the time. I probably looked at yours on like some app, but a lot of them were booked from, because this was September, so it was like towards the end of the season, right? A lot of them were booked through the rest of the season. I was like, dang, I didn't know I needed to hop on. I didn't even know we was doing this here. The next year, so just past this year, I thought about it earlier in the year, but I just wanted to see many more boats, and I was like, no, boats was last year when I was looking. So I can attest to the fact that the industry definitely has changed. And
for sure.
And with the seasonal thing, like what time of the year did you stop boating? Like, how do you decide that?
Yeah, so we try to kick off kind of making Memorial Day that kickoff point.
Okay.
Some folks definitely start in March, April. You know, March in DC,
it's frigid.
Ain't no telling what that might look like.
Our spring be cold very sometimes.
And so we just went ahead and stayed with the Memorial Day weekend, and then we might start doing some charters like one-offs in May just to get our juices going, right?
Okay.
People we know, things of that nature. And we normally shut down September 30th.
Okay.
Right toward the end of that year. My birthday's in September too.
Okay.
So either way, the bookings are going to be light because I'm going to be doing a lot during the month of September personally.
For yourself.
And so, but yeah, we try to go that right there at Memorial Day through September 30th.
Okay.
The boat's still in the water, so that's another part I'll get to. Like the boat is still in the water in DC, James Creek at the time, before we take it out for the season. Okay. So if October looks decent, now you back to one-offs. We're not really promoting it like that. But if I got some folks already on our line in our inbox about it, I'm like, hey, I knew you wanted to get out. Happens to be 80 this weekend, wildly enough. Do you want to go out? We'll do it that way. Nice. To touch on one of those points about the more boats, I don't think that there is, there's probably not an industry in this world that Black people have to do a little bit more in than our counterparts.
That's just
Black people been owning boats. You see what I'm saying? Like, being down there with Cat for them 10 years, I was around older Black people with Black boat clubs. I'm like, we been getting it. You know, I just didn't know. And learning a lot from them, and then learning what they do in life outside of the boating industry and how they have the double-decker boat, and now you networking and all these beautiful things, but they were doing it for leisure. You know what I mean? It really wasn't about chartering.
The business,
And so we know our young generation, for me, going back to that 45 thing, it was go to high school, you go to college, you get a job. Well, these youngers taking chances. They not for all of that. They like, nah, I'm going to go and start some type of business and I'm going to get it. And I love them for their aggressiveness. This is what you saw with the boating industry. It was young people. I'm talking the 25 to 35 buying these boats and putting their money together and saying, let's do it. What I immediately started to do, and some of this goes back to that community part, when I was seeing them pages pop up, I'm hitting them on the side. Hey, congratulations. If you ever want to rap, let me know. Been doing this for a couple years now. Because the enforcement of chartering started to change. All of a sudden, you had docs making these rules about, but if you don't have this license and that other license, you can't charter from here. Or straight up, we don't do chartering from here. It's against our rules. And I'm like, this wasn't like this. Until this industry got Black. And so we talked about business model and growing because of the increase in offerings, but that can go one or two ways. Because I love my people, But if we go out here and we F this up, you're going to mess it up for all of us, right? And so marijuana uses in DC is a thing. But bruh, check it out. Don't pull your boat back up to the dock and it's just weed smoke coming off of it. Yeah. Turn your, we can party. This is our world too. Yeah. But don't have the music all the way up as you backing into the, like, because you hotting us all up. You messing with my money too now. Yeah. So let's have these conversations so we can continue to earn versus putting ourselves in a situation where they continuing to shut us down. Like literally, I'm moving my boat from where we normally operated our business from. And some of this has a lot to do with it.
Now you spot on, like you said, just with the like knowing when to tone things down. I just can remember the year of COVID. So 2020, I think it was my wedding anniversary or my birthday. No, yeah.
One of them.
It was the wedding anniversary, but we down Georgetown at Sequoia. Yeah. And you know that's right there on the water.
Oh yeah.
And everybody outside, we sitting outside because again it's COVID, it's a thing. You know, we ain't trying to be inside, and everybody enjoying a nice dinner. And all you see, or first you had the smell coming, right, or whatever. Then the boat backing up, and it's like blasting music. And again, you with a lot of white people out there at this dinner, and of course the people that was on the boat was black people. And it's like, again, I always look at it like, I don't care what you're doing, but I do hate when I see like in my mind when I feel like other races could be judgmental towards the black community. So it's like, again, you smelled the weed smoke and all you heard was like the loud partying, the music and stuff. And I'm just sitting there like, these white people probably like, yeah, look at those black people down there like got a little piece of money and don't know how to act. You know, but like stuff like that blew me, you know what I'm saying? But I know exactly what you mean, but it's like knowing when to tone it down. Yeah, and then, you know, where we're at right now, and you just it's the piece, it's the timing of it. It's not like we gonna be unapologetically black, right? Like this ours too. Yeah. But your timing matters. You just called it. Like, let's read the room in all situations and make sure that, you know, you still doing your thing. We not about to come up here and start speaking differently because they're around, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, but we are gonna do, I mean, for me it ain't even about that, but I'm gonna do what my mother would have wanted me to do here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want you to not, you know, don't dumb down your personality. But come on, man, like let's read the room. Let's read the water. It's a thing.
You know, what's interesting is boating is a luxury industry. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things. It's not a necessity in life. Either you have it, you got the money to do it, or you don't, right? Now, so I'm from St. Mary's County, right? Originally. And so it's a water town. So in my town where I'm from, it's not necessarily looked at as a luxury thing because there are people who do it to sustain life. You know, they fish, they crab, they whatever. So we don't necessarily look at it as luxury because it's nothing to see somebody with a boat parked in their yard in St. Mary's because it's a water town, right? You have them just like you got cars. But the further inland you go, right, the more it is a luxury because you got to get to the water, you got to dock the boat, you got to do all the things, right? What's interesting is just like boating, golfing is also one of those luxury things, right? And you forget that like black people didn't have the money to do these things or weren't allowed to do things like not so long ago, right? So like my husband golfs, and one of the things is always like whenever he takes one of his boys out to golf, it's always like a small conversation about what you about to wear, because you can wear anything you want to golf in, but it's like these clubhouses sometimes, and I imagine boating being the same thing. Like the people who own the dock sometimes can be a little like they be a little funny about certain things. I mean, they're not used to seeing us so frequently.
Right. Nah, you're right, and it does become kind of, you know, it's a battle, right? Yeah. Because at the end of the day, if I go out on a charter and it's a young lady's 30th birthday, being quite transparent, for the most part, I know what's about to happen on this boat. They're going to dance. Yes. Yeah. They're going to get up there on the front. Twerking is happening. It's going down. Yeah, but and you know what?
It's gonna happen.
And my thing is this: that's us. That's our culture. That's who we are. Yeah. But probably as I'm coming in to dock, I'm hoping you gonna want to stop doing it now.
Yes.
And then 2, when we're out there in the middle of that water and you out, this is your time. Act like you not home. Like I instituted something called EXILE passport stamps. The boat's name is EXILE. Because it was COVID and nobody could go to another country. We started doing this thing with passport stamps.
Oh,
like,
okay.
man, this your stamp.
Yeah.
So when you out, man, look. You
out
island you pick. You in Jamaica right now. It look like sequoias, but you know what I'm saying? We gonna go past it a little bit to where the rocks are.
There you go.
Yeah, have a ball. Have a ball.
Gotcha. Yeah. So getting back to the ownership of the boat, and like you said, just dealing with some of the legalities and stuff. So what type of registrations are needed first? So you got the boat, and then what was the next step?
It's very similar to a car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the registration process. The licensing is a little different. And so this is a key element. And this is that part where really trying to help my brothers and sisters out that jumped out there. And shout out to the black women boat owners. It's so many of them did.
Because they be after the stream.
Before you say something, this is what, the second or third time we keep hearing the black women and the businesses are killing the world right now.
They be out here.
My bad.
Some of my mentors in this boating game, think about Miss Cindy and some of others. These are just black women. They ain't just get a boat. Miss Cindy's 60-something years old. She had her boat for 30 years. She's had boats. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so, they're super dope. And they black women, so they teach you. That's what they do. They nurture you through things. And so... but your question was about the
like the registration. So like what type of legal things need to be done?
So it's like registering your boat is like registering a car. Before you buy a boat, you want to get it. I'm forgetting the word. It's like an examination of your boat.
Okay.
That examination of your boat, and that is not the term, but it's the same thing. It's about $500 to get done. A lot of people try to skip that part. Don't ever do that with a boat because if something's wrong with a boat, this ain't getting an engine fixed on a car.
Okay.
Parts are different, expensive. Time is different. It takes a while. And so you got to get that inspection done prior to. After that, once you get your boat, you register through for us the same way you would, like I said, for a car in the District of Columbia. I'm not sure how it works in other jurisdictions. You want to make sure that you have the proper licenses. This is that key part. You can have a boating license. It's called a boat safety license. And you can drive. I can say, all of y'all, let's go get on a boat. And I can drive y'all and we're good to go. That's really all I need. You get that thing online.
Okay.
To charter a boat is an entirely different license. At the point where you start making money, you have to have a charter's license. Charter's license is about like going back to college. It's not a game. I've got a 25-year captain of the Coast Guard, though.
Okay.
So he went and he got his charter's license.
Got it.
And he knocked it out. And when I say knocked it out, even him, this was like a 3-month process.
Okay.
So if you want to do it, do it.
Okay.
You hit on a part earlier. I want to make a point of clarity. I am purchasing my first boat this summer.
Gotcha.
I'll have it by September. Cap owns the boat.
Okay.
I own half of the business.
Got it.
Gotcha.
Which is a key point for me. I remember meeting Magic Johnson. Had a chance to rap to him for a second too, in some other work I was doing. And he told the audience at the time, people assume that I own Burger Kings. That was the thing. Magic owns Burger Kings. Magic was like, I don't own Burger Kings. I own the meat that goes on the Whopper. I said, damn, what? Let me think
about it.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. And so what has happened from my end is that EXILE Charter started as one boat. But a gift and a curse took place. And I hope I answered your first question, because I know I'm swaying somewhere else. But the boat went down last summer. It took us offline for half the season. Crushed our revenue. But what happened was, remember them older people I told you that was teaching me about boating?
Yeah.
Well, what they didn't have is what Cap had. They were using that app. And that app was busting them over the head, taking all that money.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said, hey, guess what, y'all? We not using that app no more. I'm a book for all of y'all. So I started taking 20% off of their booking since we couldn't go out. I got my time back because they weren't going out with me. I'm booking for you all. I'm at home getting my 20%. Now I'm not gone for 16 hours out of my weekend when I got a Monday 9 to 5 to get to. And my whole EXILE charter turned into this thing that, dang, Marcus, they got 6 boats now. No, I don't. I booked for 6 people though, and I'm at home getting the revenue. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He spoke about that. Are you making money where you're not at? Or does your time have to go into that money making, right? And that hit major for me. Because I'm like, I got a whole granddaughter. I don't even see her on the weekends now because I'm on the boat, you know? And so what was a tragedy for a second ended up growing into something.
I love it. Yeah. So now you need an EXILE chartering app.
Absolutely.
Work on it.
Look at this. Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Check it out.
You gotta have this.
I gotta give you just said the app thing, right? Hold on 1 second.
You need an app. You need an EXILE chartering app.
So what it sounds like, he has a whole business because I've been studying these
community
trucks.
Though.
I've been studying these trucks and everything. But he has the whole boat dispatching joint right here.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
The boat dispatching business.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's, you said the app thing.
Yeah.
Candace _ IT Consulting. It's a good brother of mine on IG, if anybody wants to follow him. He's doing my app. He does apps. He does websites.
Yes.
Because you hit it. He keeps telling me, like, bro, are you really still booking all these things through IG?
Yeah, booking through IG, keeping it in the Excel spreadsheet. Like, let me see here who we got this weekend.
During COVID, it was intentional. So I'm gonna share something with y'all. Sorry, customers, this did happen. I would book, then I would, before I confirm, go look at your page and see how you was living.
Okay.
Because COVID. Like, you went to a go-go last night? Ooh, that's not going. You was at where are they having concerts? You were there? Not gonna work.
It ain't gonna happen.
That's why it feels.
That's why. Because that was before the shot and all the things,
that's why I wasn't going app route. I need to see how you living.
Okay, I see.
What do you do when you're when you're having fun?
Exactly. I like it.
You doing non-COVID. You act like it ain't here.
Yeah.
Can't come on a boat.
I like that. I mean, I think and the thing about an app, right, as a person who's on the other side, right? So if I own a boat, if I'm Miss Cindy, I could charter, I most definitely want to, first of all, I like the idea that you have a social presence and you can bring people to me. Because that's the thing, like boat setters or whatever else, like you got to know as a consumer that it exists before I can even get there. So that's one thing. Like, are y'all marketing for me? And if you ain't marketing for me, then you're not helping me for real. And then the other thing is, do I trust you?
Right.
Like, I mean, it's an app, it's technology, it is what it is. But like, there's a reason you taking 30% off the top. I don't really trust y'all because y'all don't know us. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So a community where we can all be together inside of this thing, I like it. I love it.
And it's the whole thing of like how he said, just getting your time back. Because like you said, if you were the boat owner or Miss Cindy or whoever, it's like he's giving you time back
too.
And you're getting your own time back from having to be on the boat if you want to just entertain that stream 100%. Because it's like, if I own the boat and I'm really trying to charter the boat, then that means you got to do all the things, like you say, all the things of all the Instagram. Now I gotta make this post that I don't feel like posting today.
No, that's true. And I actually discovered something out of this, is that the second boat purchase is only because the boat went down. Okay. What I discovered is that I don't really have a desire to be a boat owner. I have a desire to run the business. I mean, I'm going to always have access to the water. I found out that it's a good, peaceful space for me. I don't necessarily want everything that comes with being a boat owner. Seeing this boat go down for 2 months and understanding everything it took to get it back on the water, it's like, I don't really need that part in my life. So I'm excited about just, EXILE being where you come. This is that part, though. You said this when you mentioned the app. I'm very careful about who I book for, because they know me. You know what I'm saying?
Because you're speaking for me.
Yeah, you can't get on here and then treat them any different than what we would have treated them. Yes. I booked with one dude, and he said, and so my bathroom down there, that's off limits. I said, huh? What do you mean by that? Yeah, that's I'm the only one that uses the bathroom. So the customers couldn't
on here for 4 hours with no bathroom.
Customers couldn't use the bathroom, so
That's
he would.
the problem.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, I'm not. Thank you. I'm not going to be booking for your boat, and I get you. I guess it's the privacy thing. I don't. That ain't cool.
Yeah, that
Well,
ain't
he don't want to clean the bathrooms after people leave it.
You mentioned different boats, pontoon boats. They're the ones that are really flat, but they have a lot of seating.
Yeah,
look really nice and they're covered. They don't have bathrooms, and I always thought to say. So when I get in that scenario, I think about my significant other and us being on a boat. I'm a dude. I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah,
Not saying too much, but I'm gonna figure it out. But what I'm gonna say to her?
Yeah,
like, huh?
Right. Yeah.
This doesn't feel very yachtish at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I like that. I mean, I think because it gives you some control too, right? Like, I mean, it almost becomes a community where it's like, these are EXILE charter boats. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be part of the EXILE community, right? This is what we expect. It's almost like the Chick-fil-A, I like to call it the Chick-fil-A customer experience, right? Like, every Chick-fil-A has the same customer experience. I want to make sure my people got bathrooms, that they're being treated nicely, that blah, blah, blah. And I can feel that, because the thing is, the customer, if they booking through you, they gonna come back to you.
It's
like,
so
what happened, bruh? Yeah,
exactly.
So I like it.
Now that's real tight.
I'm here for
that's
it.
real tight.
Business evolved.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what it did.
Yeah, definitely. So again, you're able to drive the traffic because, like you said, you have a social presence and everything. And so I'm assuming that's been your primary place of marketing, just through like Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I gotta, I mean, how they say, like, you're nothing without your people, right? The people who knew me from my social media presence, it's from the community work I do. And
I didn't even think about that.
They promoted this for me. They were the first people to book. They were the first people to repost. And, IG is a process. When I looked and I opened that account, like I said, a week before July 1, I think by the end of that month, we had over 1,000 followers. That ain't, unless, Dr. Dre repost you, that don't just happen. Some celebrity gotta. But, and it's the people. Like, it's it's humbling that the support came from my passion work into my stream.
Tied everything.
It all came together into my financial stream process. It all came together. That being a good dude matters. Being a good woman matters. And it's like, oh, that's a good dude. And it came together. And then the sprinkle of, I just got to be honest, that the fact that it was in the midst of COVID, the business wouldn't have took off quite that way if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, so like COVID, unfortunately, like, of course, so many people had to lose their lives and everything. Yeah. But it's like for a lot of businesses, COVID helped their business out like tremendously.
And again, full transparency, my position is, it's a leadership position. It's a community position. We touch people. COVID stopped that, and I had to be transparent with myself. I'm not a from home leader. Like, leading through Zoom calls and stuff like that, I was like, I don't like this. Like, it doesn't work well for me. And so it was a lot of, and I'm a social person, I was tired of doing nothing. And so when you talk about COVID, I think a lot of people just sat home and was like, what am I good at? Right? I know what I do for this government or this company. What am I going to do though? Right? Like, what if the world stayed this way a little longer? What's the retirement plan? And this was kind of where the thoughts, just like I said, we had the business plan, but some of these ideas start rolling in a different way when you just in the house.
Sitting there. Can I, so before we talk about your nonprofit, because I do want to swing that way, let me ask you, how did you come up with how to set your hourly price on a business that's seasonal?
This is going to be all that stuff I just said about community and all this. This is going to be a horrible comparison, but we're going to do it. Y'all remember, who knows what Blue Magic is?
I do. The grease?
No.
You talking about the drug?
from the movie.
Yeah,
I don't know that. What's that?
American Gangster. Have you seen
Why am I always the one that be on?
said the grease?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know no grease. I know the drugs.
Sister, yes. Yes, sister.
You call it the grease if you want.
Sister.
Okay,
Because you're not wrong.
Okay.
But in American Gangster, Frank Lucas started selling Blue Magic.
Okay.
And what he did is he undercut everybody in the industry's. Like his price was way lower.
Okay.
But his product was really good. Horrible
Way
comparison,
better.
but here we go.
Okay.
I undercut the market.
Okay.
I saw what the boating prices were, and everybody was at like $300. I was like, that's good. $200
Okay.
is what we going with. And the business gravitated towards us heavily. We took that hit for that first year to kind of prove who we were. $200 an hour. You want to cost out your gas.
Okay.
Factor in what we're going to pay ourselves for our time, and then really try to build. Let's make sure we have this kitty over here for anything to go wrong.
Yeah.
And for starting our processes for next year.
Okay.
So that was kind of the divides of the business. And when we did that at $200, and then we made some mistakes.
Okay.
Some of the mistakes we made in the beginning were that we didn't have set days and times.
Oh.
It was like whatever.
Whenever.
It's COVID. I don't
Yeah,
care. I mean,
okay.
whenever you want to do it, as
We
long
can
as I'm
do it,
off
yeah.
my government clock, I'm with it.
Yeah.
That's not good for lifestyle.
Okay.
And so we also didn't set parameters around the hours you could book. Like we had 2-hour bookings.
Okay.
After you do it twice and you realize I just came out here for 2 hours and made $400, this ain't long enough.
Okay.
Minimum
Yeah.
3 hours moving forward.
Yeah.
Those types of things we had to figure out as we go, because the 2 hours for them is an hour for us before to get the boat ready. COVID, cleaning, all that before they get on. And then it's the, factoring in the hour after. So for your 400 that looks like 2 hours, we were out here for 4 hours.
Got
you know
it.
what I'm saying? And so we started minimums of 3 to 6 hour bookings.
Okay.
The very next year, we didn't have holiday rates.
Oh.
So 4th of July weekend was that same $200.
The people was out here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they getting it. Let me get it for 8 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
200 on the 4th of
And
July.
then,
Yeah, exactly.
Because of COVID, we had a limit of 6 people on the boat. So now they splitting that by 6. So very next year, holiday rates went to what we go to $300 an hour for holidays, and then our regular rate went up to $250, and we just became balanced with everybody else, but we had already provided something. So just looking at those things, gas being a thing because it fluctuates.
Okay.
And, filling up a 34-foot boat cost you right around $150.
Okay.
No. That's when some gas is already in the tank. It's going to be about $200 to fill that boat up.
Okay.
And so you got to factor that in. We provided ice, water, just small things, plates. So, folks come on, and every time they come on there with a cooler, like, you not coming back, right? Like, they got so much food. I'm like, you do know there's 4 hours, right?
Yeah.
So we wanted to minimize some of the stuff they had to bring.
Okay.
And have some of that on board, going back to that customer service part. So,
Do y'all ever provide or like upcharge, or can you even do it, like provide like liquor to them and stuff?
we haven't. It's bring your own liquor, though.
Okay.
And that's seemingly what people prefer. We did have one black-owned business. I wish I could remember their name. The brother did something. And look, brothers, let me tell you something. A date night on a boat with just you and your lady, forget the whole crew and take your woman, just her, out on a boat for like brunch or something. Like, it's such a dope date. Like, because a lot of times it's a group gathering. I had brothers come on and get it catered. They got somebody coming on the boat, setting up table offs and the champagne bottle thing.
Nice whole vibe.
And look, for what you got a table in the club, he just got his woman a boat for 4 hours with the same type of vibe. You can connect your music to our Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Atmosphere is set. And so, that's some of the things that we looked at. We came up with themes. You gotta have themes. So Wine Down Wednesdays. We would provide a bottle of complimentary wine. That was the one time we did provide liquor. And so, a lot of that was dope. But we never thought about like providing that. we did start to look at selling cigars. A lot of folks get on there. It's like, damn, forgot my cigar.
Yeah.
I want to be like, well, guess what?
Here goes the case.
Here goes
What I have.
Yeah.
$5 more than you would have got it for.
Yeah.
But it's here.
Yeah.
You want the cigar,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, that was cool.
Okay.
That was cool.
All right. So yeah, you good on the boat?
I'm good on the
I
boat.
like that because you, again, you know, every guest that we have that comes on our show and talks about like their business and everything, we want to make people feel like it's relatable. You know what I'm saying? And that they can go out here and do something similar. You know, if that's something that they
So
choose,
desire.
if they desire. And I think you laid it out perfectly, like, you know, through your experiences and everything. So I think that was good. But, you know, like, again, we talk about multiple streams, and granted, you know, your other endeavors are, you know, or your other endeavor is a nonprofit. So it not necessarily like a standard revenue stream, but there is money that is generated within a nonprofit. So like, let's get into some of that and how, you know, how that came to be.
No, I appreciate it. And you know, so giving with a purpose, we call it guap DC, guap underscore DC on Instagram. This is like, you know, this is my heart, right? So one thing that I, you know, always in a mentoring posture, I see folks that work for government like me, and we work in some very impactful positions, and we are affecting people's lives every day. And that is to be commended. However, I view that different than service, because you do get a biweekly check for it.
Okay.
That's true.
And so I was helping, like today, for instance, I was saying I was at a turkey drive today, this morning, supporting my friend. Shout out to Tony Lewis Jr. for everything he does. And I had always been supporting community events, because that's what you do in your off time. Like how did it say, Muhammad Ali, service is how you pay for your time here on earth, like your rent on earth, right? And so I was a firm believer in that, but it wasn't mine. And I started thinking to myself, like, I want to do something. And so played around with some ideas. Me and my wife bouncing names off each other and came up with Giving with a Purpose. And the purpose part came because we wanted to be unique. Again, very much needed, but I can guarantee you that there's not a place in the city right now you can't go and probably get a turkey right now if you need one. You just got to keep your ear to the streets, and there's a lot of that being done. And so the homeless population was something that was very near and dear to my heart, right? Like, so as a teenager, there was a point in time where I experienced homelessness, and so I understood what that was like. And you know, so I had started working with an organization by the name of Covenant House that serves, they serve younger teenage homeless population. And again, back with Tony Lewis Jr., we started doing sleep outs. And so we would sleep out every year, which is a hell of an experience, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's mad real. We did that 5 years straight, and it was to support that population. But prior to that, I really started getting into the that what can I do? What's unique about it? And so we came up with this socks and underwear drive. This is 6 years ago. No, this will be year 7. So yeah, and we said, you know what? Homeless people are going to get these items, like the standard things, food plates, things like that. Let's do some research and let's figure out what they don't get, but they need. And it was very clear from the research that socks and underwear were 2 of the most needed items for homeless people. One, the warmth, but no one really factored in the hygiene part and the level of disease they contract because they don't have proper undergarments. It's like, we got it, you know. And so we had thought of the name Giving with a Purpose, put together the first event in Southeast DC. People came out. We got all in Giving. The socks and underwear event is a little different. It's a whole party.
Okay.
It's a really good time. It's a networking time of year, right? But the drinks are flowing and the DJ is going. And this year we even adding a live band. But the only thing you pay to get in that door is your donation. Okay. Right? And so first year we get the donations. We partner with Central Union Mission, a huge organization in DC, a homeless shelter. But we want to be unique again. We got the unique items, but so what, we just going to drop them off?
Yeah.
Nah, I want to feel the people.
Yeah.
I want to talk to the brothers. That's who I am innately. And so this part goes totally to my wife. Once we get these items, it's like an assembly line. I'm picturing it here. I'm sorry. So there's like a ton of gift bags. And then her and her crew, they label the gift bags by sizes. And now every bag gets a certain amount of socks, underwear based on size. So now when we go to the shelter, it's not like here's a trash bag full of. We sit there during their holiday party. We stand behind the table with our crew of friends. They come up. They tell us their size. They get a gift right at their Christmas party that not only do they need, but it's properly delivered to these men who have a lot of pride, a lot of integrity. It's so it's funny and awesome how you give them the bag and they'll be like, man, look, I wear boxes. I'm like, in the beginning here, I'm like, you complaining, bro? Like, but then you started to get it. Like, nah, he a man just like you a man. He prefers boxes. Let me see if I got them. If I don't, I'm going to give you some extra socks. Something like that. And so that's how the organization started out. And then, started to look at other branches. What means something to you? What are you passionate about? 2010, lost my pops to colon cancer. And I feel like whenever you get a loss, like it's something you can do. You can, obviously you should go through the grieving process. You can be angry. You can do all these things. And then it's like, got it. What you going to do with that? And my something to do with that was like, how you keep his name going? Like, legends don't die. Let's keep his name going. And so I started doing speaking engagements around colon cancer awareness, the importance of Black men getting tested, the importance of breaking down the ideas that, oh, that's a funny style test. What you about to go do? You know what I mean? Like, they gonna do what when I get there? And I'm like, I mean, so the option is you find out that you got stage 4 and you die because you wouldn't go get out your own head about something that in our culture is a real thing. And I'm like, miss me with it. So what I did is I put together a colon cancer awareness walk in my dad's name, the Martin D. Ellis 3K colon cancer awareness march that we do, run that we do every year. And then put together some of the Busboys and Poets where I put a video together working with Kia Freeman, who's doing amazing work in the film industry. And she did a documentary talking about me, talking about my dad, walking us through that process, walked through my colonoscopy, the whole process. So I'm like, look, I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? And they got to see it. Yeah. And so that kind of became that second point of passion, the next annual event that we've been doing now for 3 years. And so those were the two kind of staples of the organization. And then my wife is building out a women's empowerment segment, which is still in the making. And so those are our 3 tenets. Really don't want to go any deeper than that because I feel like you start to spread yourself thin. You hit it though, that passion I talked about in terms of getting paid for it. Nonprofit people do understand it. Absolutely. This should be about giving. If you're in a nonprofit and it's how you pay your bills, stuff normally goes wrong that way. You know what I mean? And so my thing for that has been I get paid through GWAP DC for my speaking engagements. That's what I tied to the LLC portion of GWAP DC. I put all my speaking engagements under that platform. And, so now when I'm going to speak to Lil Johnny and it's like, yep, you got to go to that website and see what that cost look like, bro.
That's the thing. So more about this 6th year, right? Seventh year.
Yeah, last year was the year y'all pulled up, dropped off, and had to roll out. It wasn't because
like that was because I remember you said COVID affected, like you said, the whole vibe. Because typically it is a party, but even what we saw when we pulled up, it's still a nice little, nice little function or whatever. But so tell us a little bit more about the seventh time.
Yep. So this year we've done 2 of these events at Ivy City Smokehouse. Our gracious host, who was doing amazing community work. And so if you've been there, they got a huge open room and it's a great space, a lot of space. And so we'll be back there this year. I'm working on it. We're gonna have a live band. We're gonna have a DJ. They have amazing food. The bartenders will be all over the place, and same thing, socks and underwear. It's your only admission. Please look out for my big guys. Bring larger sizes if you do. Those 3Xs and 4Xs are needed. We're going from 3 to 7, December 11th.
December 11th.
Name keeps coming up, and if you don't follow Tony Lewis Jr., you should be. Like when you talk about doing amazing things in several different lanes, that's him. He's hosting my event this year, and we about to have a really good time. It's gonna be fun. The networking will be going. We highlight Black businesses while we're there, and we're excited because, like you said, last year was cool, the dropping off and who can get out their car, who can't. Like, hey, how you doing? It's like, it was dope. But we back. You know, masks will be required and all that. It should be a really dope time.
Cool.
Do you ever see yourself leaving your 9 to 5 to do GWAP DC full time?
That's a possibility. I think that, in full transparency, again, the work that we do, it takes a mental toll on you. You're dealing with a lot of death and dying on a regular basis. And so I want to get to a space eventually where I'm still making impact without the toll that it takes on me personally. And what you just mentioned is one of them, but one of the thoughts. And then it's the combination of EXILE. Really looking at a way to expand this. You touched on this earlier, to areas that's not seasonal. I don't have to be in Florida to book boats. No. The company can flourish there, and it gives me a reason to visit Miami, so that's cool. You know what I mean? But I'm looking at both of those things as a combination. And conversations like this are super meaningful because this is really what's on my mind lately is government can make you very comfortable. I have been blessed to matriculate and grow within government to a point where life ain't bad at all, but there's so much more out here. And conversations like this and stepping outside of your circle, talking to those Black boat owners down there, I'm like, damn, I'm getting it, but they getting it. I'm trying to get the second level of getting it. And so, you know, that's kind of GWAP DC is a part of it for sure.
Okay.
It's a part of it.
I think a lot of people are misinterpret that nonprofits mean no money. So I used to work in Fairfax County for the Community Services Board. I was a contract specialist at the time. And so one of the things that the Community Services Board does in Fairfax County is they're about the mental health aspect of Fairfax County. So they open all the mental health shelters and all that kind of stuff. And so a lot of the companies that were responsible for opening and running those shelters were nonprofits. But as a contract specialist, part of my job is to look at their financials. And so when you looking at the financials and you seeing how much the CEO making, it's a whole lot of profits happening. As long as they hit zero at the end of the day, they spending it. You giving it to them and they spending it. So I just want you to know.
I appreciate hearing
that there is money to be made out here in the nonprofit sector. Okay,
I appreciate that. And I mean, I don't want to go into that too much, but like when people, oh my God, pastor, how much pastor make? Pastor do a lot if he a good pastor. CEOs of nonprofits, like, why shouldn't they get the
and they should,
like, you know? So that's appreciated. And I do think that I have to look and dig into that a little bit more. You know, and so
it's here for you, sir.
For sure.
Trust me.
Thank you.
It's all here.
Real quick before we wrap up, so you know you've hit on how important mentorship is.
For sure.
And then you already do it, you know, with the capacity, you know, with the young men and everything. Do you see yourself getting into like mentorship within the boat industry, like combining the two that way?
I think, and like I mentioned, you know, kind of been doing it informally. You know, but I can see that because I think that it has to be a facet of it because, again, I meant what I said earlier. If we don't get this right, we're going to mess it up. You know, I said,
they ain't having it.
James Creek Marina, and I mean, I am saying you all's name, they shut down chartering from there. We can't do it there anymore. So we're moving our boat to up here by Chesapeake Beach. Which I'm super excited about. Once I get more information, I'll definitely let you all know. But new clientele, a little bit more relaxed setting. They don't bother you about doing charters. And, you know, I don't want young brothers and sisters coming in this to not understand that part of this. Like we always say, there's a racial part in everything we do. We got to work harder. We always got to work harder.
That's the thing.
So,
Okay. So to wrap up here, because we normally ask our folks, and I'm still going to ask you, so the floor is still going to be yours. But what is it that you plan to do next? But I just want to for the notes here, we gonna have you chartering some folks. You know, you gonna figure out how to charter not just your folks, but other people's folks. And we moving to Florida and Myrtle Beach and all the things coming your way. Okay, so we about to build an app, and we're gonna grow the women's empowerment portion of GWAP. And there was something else that I forgot. I can't remember. But we getting a new boat coming up here too. Okay, so what else is on the list?
Well. What else is on the list?
And it's okay if there's nothing, because that's a lot.
You know what? Anything, what's next for Marcus?
No, I mean, what's on the list right now, to be honest with you, I'm sorry, the other part of GWAP DC is how it started. We love partnering with other organizations that are doing things within our mission. And this, to anybody out there, if it's somewhere in your heart right now to give back, to pay your rent for your time on earth, the opportunities are tremendous. Follow GWAP DC on Instagram. I don't just post my stuff. I post about other people's events. And that's where I'm at right now. I was just saying how this morning, you know, folks coming up and getting these turkeys and these, all the trimmings and just the hand of that, it feeds your spirit in a way that I can't even describe. And so this year is a lot of people's time to get stuff. Just try to reverse that. This is a time to give and like pour out into people right now. That's my space over these next few weeks. And so when I think about what's next for me, there's a no days off mentality in there. Every weekend I'm gonna be out here doing something in terms of helping our people. But you know, I'm still exploring some things. I'm gonna leave this last one because she gonna be like, look, this how you do it. Writing has always been therapeutic for me, poetry and things of that nature. And everything that I have had a passion for, I've started to think, how do you profit off of that? I know of mahogany cards, gritty cards, and I'm really thinking and combing through how to start my own, greeting card from a black man's perspective. When I go to buy a card for my mom's, my wife, my sister, I read it and I'm like, well, damn, this ain't what I would have said. So, and I'm like, it's probably a lot of black brothers that might have said this a different way. And I want to present that option for people to purchase those, them greeting cards.
It's a good idea.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
It's different.
Don't nobody try to take it. I'm not going to buy your card.
I like that a lot.
I like that. That's great.
That's a space.
Okay.
Yeah,
So how can the people find you? Where can they find you on the internets and things?
For sure. And so Facebook is just Marcus Ellis, but all my social media is Marcus Ice Ellis. My nickname is Ice. And so that's that part. That's the personal page. And then there's GWAP DC on IG, and then EXILE Charter Boating, soon to be EXILE Charter Yachting. But for right now, look for EXILE Charter Boating. That's all my social media platforms.
Wonderful.
Ooh, I forgot one.
Go ahead.
What is it? To make GWAP _ DC. Thank you. Don't forget that underscore. And then to make monetary donations to the Socks and Underwear Drive, it's GWAP DC at Cash App.
Got it. Gotta have
that.
it.
Everybody can't show that your money is gonna go to a dope space.
Yes, I like it.
I like it too.
Stream Chasers, we did that today. Okay, y'all learned about seasonal businesses. Y'all learned about nonprofits. We learned about a lot today. Okay, so to find us on the social medias and things is at Stream Chasers on Instagram, stream.chasers on Instagram. We are on the YouTubes. We are on the Apple Podcasts, on the Spotify's, the Google, whatever they call theirs. I don't know because I have an iPhone, but we there too. Or you can go to www.streamchasers.work because Stream Chasers
do the work.
And with that,
just got paid.
Just got paid.